Alright, we are into the match. I need to change team names really quickly, because I
Yep.
forgot to do. We're in!
So yeah, we are going to see LHF, aka Let's Have Fun, on the left-hand side of your screen. They'll be on the Order side of the Conquest map, and then Thug Muffins are going to be on the right-hand side, who are the Chaos team on the Conquest map as well. So, simple as, let's get into the picks and bans already. We see LHF with the Khepri ban to start out with, Circuit followed up very quickly from the Thug Muffins, repeated immediately by a Hell ban from LHF again. So standard bans here, and to fill out all of those 4 bans, we're going to see Sun Wukong. So yeah, all of them perfectly standard bans, top level gods right now that you really don't want to play against, and more importantly, if you don't think you can pick them, you certainly want to ban them. The couple of top picks that we'll probably see in the first few are usually Thor, Janus, and maybe sort of something like a Isis maybe, but Geb is being hovered and locked in immediately for LHF, so they really want to get that support pick done straight up and get that over with. So, I mean, Geb right now, I don't think he's actually the top support right now. There's definitely sort of Athena, and obviously Khepri, who is continuously banned out until next patch. That's going to be an interesting nerf for him. What do you think about that target, actually?
The nerf, I don't think, is going to affect his pick ban rate too much. It may drop him out of first ban, but that's also just due to the increase of characters available for banning, and people may feel like, oh, actually, that Janus is not a lock-in just yet. Okay, now it's locked in.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
oh no!
Janus and Athena, sort of standard standard locks in as well. You usually don't see anything but these gods right now. I'm almost LilTurtle, please don't turn away from the path. No, he is going to turn away from the path, although it's a nice turn. He locked in Awilix. Isis was also locked in for the side of LHF, but I was almost waiting for that Awilix to suddenly turn into a Thor pick, because Geb, Janus, Athena, Thor, and Isis, that is like the standard top 5 picks. There is very few. Whenever you go into ranked, that is probably the top 5 picks you'll see, with the bans either being Hell, Khepri, Sun Wukong, or Circuit, or maybe instead of the Sun Wukong, sometimes they ban out the Janus instead. So, and Bellona is going to be the pickup for Thug Muffins. This is just like standard RS right now.
But it's also very much a ranked, as you just said, it's very much a ranked composition here. One thing that we'll probably be seeing a little bit later in is some variation, slightly at least, on some of those sets of picks, because you'll see the Awilixes, you'll see, also depending on what gets through, will we see counters for Wukongs? Will we see other things like that? Maybe we'd see an Odin, for that first, second pick combo, etc. But again, certainly not bad characters. Just because they're popular and ranked doesn't mean that they're bad in competitive. Quite frankly, if they're good in ranked, they're probably good in competition as well. Rama and Thor banned out, Thug Muffins and Let's Have Fun respectively. So, interesting the Rom ban, considering that he was not, that Thug Muffins themselves have not picked a hunter yet. However, then Let's Have Fun banning out a jungler, banning out Thor, because they decide Thor is a little bit strong against Awilix. And then Hunbots gets picked up there by by Thug Muffins.
Yeah.
And then Medusa and OSiris picked up, leaving last pick over to Thug Muffins for their AD carry position. And the Apollo is hovered and then locked in. So, very interesting composition here. You got triple global on Thug Muffins, so Athena works well, obviously, with Medusa, because you've got the taunt ultimate combination. But the original combo was Athena and her brother. So, Athena Apollo.
Yeah.
Still,
I mean, that was a big combo a long time ago, which was pretty strong, but those characters got slight different tweaks, and Apollo, I mean, even though he wasn't actually nerfed that badly, a lot of people felt like he was nerfed into the ground almost, so no one played him for quite a long time. Yeah, it was a huge change, and effectively Apollo wasn't played for a good month or so, or if he was, it was with disdain. You didn't look at you couldn't look at them with the same eyes that you could anymore. It's just like, why would you play him? But he's got back into favor a lot more, especially with the couple of slight little tweaks they had. The most recent tweak, which I actually loved, was the knock-up increase on the moves. So it was a tiny little change, which doesn't look like it actually affects much, but it gives him a lot more actual ability to do some interesting things, and he's actually quite a potent hunter now, and we're starting to see him a lot more. He's, especially as Ram is starting to get a little... People are feeling like he's getting a little too strong. You usually either see it's Ram Medusa, or Huyi Ram, or... Usually you'll see Ram in the opposing matchups, unless it's an Apollo Frere, and Ram is just one of those go-to hunters which you know is good, and if you actually have a look at TSM now, Ram's getting banned a hell of a lot against them, because Snoopy is just such a god with Ram. It's just a standard ban almost against him. You should always consider doing that ban, and then letting them have a sort of strong god, as long as you can counter that god.
Yep. As you said, a lot of stuff out there, and I really like where the Smite is at. In terms of these two compositions, there's a lot of late game potential on both teams, and it really is going to come down to execution, I think. So, with that said, we'll be back in about a minute and a half when we get into the action. Gotta wait for Spectator Client to finish counting down. My name is MCharg, joined by Lord WizKid. This is North American Challengers week number 4?
Yeah,
week number 4
already.
We're already halfway in, so we will be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Alright, we are into the game. Let's have fun up against the Thug Muffins. Let's have fun in the blue trunks coming from the bottom side of your minimap, Thug Muffins, top side minimap, right hand side of your Spectator UI.
Yeah, indeed, and this is going to be a very interesting game. Standard builds from across the side. As you can see, that we do have the difference in builds from the two ADCs. So FrozenMercury has gone for the Bluestone and Trans level 1 called Morningstar. Meanwhile, Cajun has gone for the DeathToll Dev Star, which is a Spiked Gauntlet. But there's a couple of interesting things about this star, and I know a couple of weeks I was talking about how the fact that you lose a lot of mana by going this Bluestone Silver Star, but actually I was having a look at the stats, and you lose 50 mana and 4 MP5 for going this. It's just the fact that you have to start stacking a lot later on than something like the Devourer's Gauntlet star, because you have to spend an extra 800 gold into it.
Yeah, again, lots of minor tweaks here, but this is saying, FrozenMercury wants to get early aggression in on it, which he should. Again, it's a Medusa spiking significantly earlier than Apollo does. And then over on Apollo's side, well, why doesn't he go Transcendence, or why doesn't he go Bluestone? Because Apollo is just so good with that passive combined with Death's Toll. Audacity is just such an insane steroid.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what Audacity does, it actually doubles the amount of attack speed you have. So currently on this, with this attack speed buff, he's sitting at 1.11 attack speed. So he's doing an attack per second. Actually, in mid lane, we see Leafre getting taken down. Random bro looks like he got body blocked away from that portal, and now Batz is in a bit of an awkward position.
It was a really good feather step too. I was watching it while you were talking, and it was a fight over at mid camps, and TheBurnMan and Random Bro came in, and Leafre actually did not use his Spirit Ball on his opponents like I was expecting him to. He actually used it to confirm the camps, while Sam for Soccer played Keep Away, and then they realized, hey, we've poked down Janus incredibly low, let's go for a feather step root combo and kill him. There was also a very good knock-up in there as well. And there's another, again, these Sukus have been on point from Sam, getting knock-ups, saying, look, I know you're trying to run away. If you run, I will hurt you. And I do not like this attempt. Uh-oh, this may be in a second kill, and there we go. That is a double, or that is now 2 kills for the mid laner and a kill for the jungler. And Let's Have Fun off to a really good start in the mid lane, especially because BurnMan just lost his Potion of Physical Might.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really, really good win. Not to mention, Isis and Awilix are two very strong early gods, and giving them kills on top of that is going to make it even more potent, and it looks like Sanfasok is going to go aggressive again. It's going to get portaled away, but it's going to guarantee that big minion, and now BurnMan's already on no health, forced to jump away. The ultimate comes out! Another kill going to the Awilix. Leafre's trying to zone away Random Bro and is going to be able to do so quite safely. And now he also has his ultimate, so if they wanted to go for an early gold fury, they could probably do that pretty easily right now.
They definitely could. We've got a jungler who is actually gank over on the solo lane. I like this decision as well. Oh my goodness, long range Spirit Ball, double ultimates. Actually, they're both going to miss as Hatman is 5 as well, but they are going to be looking for it, and they're going in very, very deep. Leafre in some trouble, but should be all right. And we should see... Nope, the Hatman will be all right. And he will survive. Looking for Leafre,
he does
maybe.
have a minion following him.
I
think he just wants to get out safely. He knew that he was in a bit of danger still because the Awilix could have rotated over. He's going to stay because he popped a couple of potions. Notice he has multi-pots, so he's going to be healing pretty quickly, actually. It's not going to be too difficult for him. Along with the Death Toll, which gets him 6 per base attack. And the hammer actually hits multiple targets at once, so he's getting about 18 or so. But there is another gank, and this time this is probably going to go down pretty quickly. The knock-up, followed by the Feather Step, and that's another kill for Sanfasok.
Yeah, it's very good stun combination there once again. Boss Yang just holding him in place. Very, very good job. Let's Have Fun doing a very good job of maintaining their early aggression and applying it across the board. Something that we noticed was as soon as Sam and Leafre started getting pressure in the mid lane, they immediately took, they got the right camp. Great win. Then they took the left mid camp, and then they're like, okay, let's go and invade and take their back camps. And then off that second back camp, they went and they got another kill, which expanded the lead once again. BurnMan is in trouble. He is level 5, but he actually just gets his ultimate off in time and does get away for now. But he is sitting on practically no health. But his team is here for him.
10 health.
10 health.
And to just point out how good that ultimate was, if he didn't use that ultimate and then jump away, Sanfasok would had his ultimate ready to go. So that would have just been pulled back in and he would have been dead straight up. So that was a really nice Batz ultimate. One thing I actually wanted to talk about, but we've been in so many fights already that I haven't had time. This Awilix versus Batz matchup. Actually, Awilix wins this quite a lot until you get to the sort of mid-late game team fights where Batz ultimate is just such a good tool that you can't not win with it, because Awilix you can only pull in one person, and that person is only going to be Batz unless he gets the knock up on someone else. So that's something, if the BurnMan can use that correctly, and as long as Muffins can stop this snowball that Let's Have Fun are just taking such a huge advantage of it, that means the BurnMan can actually use Sanfasok's ultimate to actually benefit his own team. So
assuming he doesn't die in the poll.
Yeah, assuming he doesn't die immediately. So I would recommend him starting to get some protection soon on, just so he can actually start using it and not have to worry about this Awilix ultimate, because it is only affecting him right now and causing him a lot of problems until she starts getting those knockups on her 3.
I mean, when we consider the fact that he's only sitting at... Oh, actually, we're going to see an ultimate in the mid lane going on to Aaron, and Aaron is going to fall right there. As I was saying, if we're taking a brief look at the net worth overall, the two bottom net worths are the mid laner for Muffins on Random Bro, and then the the jungler, BurnMan as well. And we are going to see a good ultimate coming out from the Hatman, going to avoid... Actually, did not avoid the stun and went a little bit early, and he is going to fall ultimate from BurnMan, trying to do something, but again, a little bit too late. And we will see him back off as there are 4 members of Let's Have Fun in the mid lane.
Yeah.
As I was saying,
over on the duo lane, we see actually Athena using the teleport in going on to FrozenMercury. The creeping curse comes out. Ultimate gonna hit the Athena, but not going to get the stun onto the Apollo. They can't chase after that now though. But Isis and Awilix rotating over. This could be a big thing. Awilix doesn't have her ultimate, but she can do a lot of damage. The knockup's not gonna hit and is gonna get just a nice dash away. So That's gonna disengage a little bit, and I don't think there's anything that Let's Have Fun can look for apart from a very big rotation on this left-hand side again.
Yeah, so we're gonna see them coming back in. I would have liked to have maybe seen a Gold Fury. They're far enough ahead that they can totally bait this out here. Everyone is ahead by at least half a level, if not a complete level or 3, in the case of the junglers. So there's not a whole lot that the Thug Muffins can do right now to contest it, even though they have to. So baiting out a Gold Fury fight would be very beneficial for Let's Have Fun. But there's not even any vision.
Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, you don't even need to bait out a Gold Fury. You can just take it easily. They have an Isis. Isis's ultimate is one of the biggest things early on, as we see another kill happen for Samsocker. He's 6-0 already in an 8-minute game. This is going to start
6-0
really
and 2.
affecting.
He's every single kill on the map. And that last one, sure, Leafre probably could have gotten it on his own, but again, it was Leaf saying, hey, can you come over and just, you know, I'm going to go for this. I'm applying pressure mid, and Sam's just comes over, and again, it's that good attention to detail from the team of, okay, let's work together. Sam getting another kill onto the TheBurnMan as well. Batz really needs to just, if he comes to a tower, to a lane, sit at the edge of the tower, apply a little bit of damage, and just stay as safe as possible. Back camps and rotations are really his only hope at this point, even though he is so far down. Like we said, net worth, he is sitting at 3,900. His gold per minute is below 300 drastically, which is a very, very bad place to be this early in the game.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that you want to do with an Awilix is you want to try and get her fed early, and this is exactly what's happening with Let's Have Fun. Because getting her fed early means that she gets the penetration out, she gets this huge amount of damage with Feather Step. As you start leveling that, and it gets very ridiculous. And now she's about to hit level 13, so she'll be able to get a second level in her ultimate, which will increase, or in fact she already has it. I think it may even be a third level, as we see Leaf actually finally making sure that Awilix isn't going to get 100% participation, going to kill Random Bro in the middle lane, and they're finally going to start up Gold Fury, but Apollo and Athena know about this. What can they do though? The Athena ultimate is up and ready, Janus is down, so they can't go for it. And now Samsocker is going to do a really nice service potential. Cajun is nearly dead already. Let's Have Fun take the Gold Fury. And now the Batz ultimate came out in the background. Cajun is finally going to go down to Sam or Aaron Hawk, going to dash away, not going to get hit by the Spirit Ball. Janus ultimate through as well. Pull onto the TheBurnMan. Cataclysm used but not needed as Samsocker gets a double kill, looking for the triple onto Random Bro. The teleport through the wall is going to make sure she doesn't get that.
Yep, although we actually are going to see Leaf going in anyways. I didn't think he was going to go for the dive, but it's Isis. She's far enough ahead that she's not going to have to worry about her mid-game power slump, and she will be perfectly fine here. And now we're going to see rotation over to the solo lane, and Hatman is aware that they are in the area, and you are 4 levels behind that Awilix. Don't go there, and Athena ulting over as well, because, well, that's just how scary this Awilix and Isis are right now.
Yeah, I mean, if we actually have a quick look at the graphs, you can see that this is looking very, very painful for the Thug Muffins. 6,500 gold difference already for Let's Have Fun, and 11,000 XP lead. That's gotta hurt. And
the thing that I want to point out really, kind of quickly here, though, is that it's not necessarily super... I mean, it's snowball. It's definitely... There's a couple spikes there, the Gold Fury, etc. And it's trending, obviously, in favor of Let's Have Fun. But sort of in Thug Muffins' defense, I guess I would say here, is that it's a very consistent pressure win here, where Thug Muffins just haven't been able to staunch the bleeding, not that they've been necessarily feeding kills away too much. It's been Let's Have Fun just consistently gaining a lead, not any sort of spike or shenanigans. Ultimate used by TheBurnMan in the mid lane to protect himself. Geb Shield going to come out on the Leaf, just because, at this point, and
yeah.
Really good.
I mean, I think the best description of what's happening right now, look at the TheBurnMan's health and look at Leafre's health. That's the difference between the amount of pokes that they're getting off into each other. If anyone else was there, the TheBurnMan would have actually been dead. So they've got to be really careful here. Leafre actually does have his ultimate. If they wanted to go in on this, they could very much try and take out that tower. Deciding to play it safe, though, go for looking for more kills, looking for the Apollo on the left-hand lane, who is sitting here farming on his own. He's only sitting at own 1, so he hasn't The dual lane's actually been coping alright. They're just going to start eventually losing because of just how far the jungler and mid laner are ahead on Let's Have Fun. So hopefully Thug Muffins are able to get this dual lane online. Leafre actually going to get pulled into tower, trying to take out the TheBurnMan. We're going to see Soccer come around the backside. Luckily, I think she got spotted out. The ultimate's been used as well, so she's got to back off somewhere.
Yep.
She can't get the full Batz potential out.
And we're going to see a rotation from FrozenMercury as well. They're going to work on this mid lane tower. And first tower of the game will be taken, 12-26. So even though we have 13 kills, they didn't...
In the backline, though, we're going to see the TheBurnMan
OSiris,
just
what are you
about to
doing?
go down. The disarm actually saved the TheBurnMan just there. That was a really nice disarm. The ultimate's used as well. Boss Yang needs to get out of here. Gonna get slowed down a lot. Sanfazocca here. Gonna get a nice stun from the Bellona ultimate. The feather set coming out is possibly gonna save Boss Yang. The ultimate from Athena as well. Gonna land on him, and that's gonna get the kill Cataclysm there. Followed up, Sanfazocca is on a very low amount of mana actually. This could be going too far. Medusa ultimate though, perfect. Gonna finish off the Athena. Apollo going into his ultimate onto the backline, looking for the Medusa. Can't quite finish it off yet. They're so low. Sanfazocca has no mana at all. If Thug Muffins can find more kills off of this, they're gonna finally find the Geb. And now looking for the Awilix, who's just dashing away with Suku.
That is huge right there. It's a 3-for-1 for Thug Muffins. I mean, the charts, it's still bad. It's still definitely in Let's Have Fun's favor. They haven't thrown the game by any means yet, but being able to win that fight from Thug Muffins does two things. One, it puts a decent amount of gold back in their pockets, and two, it tells them that yes, you can win a fight, and it also, and then the last thing is that it tells Let's Have Fun that you are not that far ahead. You cannot style on the enemy team like that. So, sure, 2 towers were taken right before that fight, so Thug Muffin's sitting in an awkward spot, but still, they won a fight, they didn't get blown out, and they have an opportunity here to come back.
Yeah, and also not to mention they got a tiny bit of shutdown gold on that Isis. If they can kill this Awilix, the amount of shutdown gold they're going to get is going to be absolutely insane. They're going to sort of get an extra 600 gold or so, I think it's somewhere along those lines, which is exactly what they need.
Yeah, that sounds about right, especially depending on who gets the kill. FrozenMercury looking for a 1 versus 2, well, really I think more Thug Muffins are looking for it. They see Geb coming in and they are just going to walk away here, as LilTurtle is, well, scary. Probably the best way to put it. Also, Awilix out mid lane fight. We do see Janus going down as Leafre and Samzocker say, "This is our buff now. Thank you. Goodbye." But as I was going to say, though, Awilix sitting on a Mail of Renewal, which means that she has all kinds of sustain now. And again, Samzocker is so far ahead in terms of damage that why not go ahead and put in a tanky item here and survivability, as we do see the Gold Fury started up here by Let's Have Fun.
Yep, and we do see the Apollo trying to contest this. Cajun is not going to live now. Immortal is the Awilix, going to pull in Aaron as well. Looking for that. The Feather Set going to stop the dash in its tracks. And that's OSiris actually getting that kill there.
Yep, and really good, again, good usage of damage coming out from Let's Have Fun onto their opponents. And the Gold Fury was actually killed off by a Shockwave from Geb, because that was the last piece of damage that they used. They did a good job of splitting it, though they did leash the Gold Fury onto the Awilix on accident. But again, it's little things. We are going to see aggression come in here. This middle tower falls very, very quickly. Are going to see Hatman in a lot of trouble trying to cut it out. Is going to get that Eagles Rally off and is going to be able to get out of range of the Spirit Ball. And now we're going to see rotation over to the right-hand lane, where it looks like they're going to proxy away this tower.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the best idea. Just go for towers, try and get the objectives down. This also increases their gold lead even further. It's going to add an extra 15,000 into their bank. They could go for the Fire Giant. They could very much go for the Fire Giant. But
I don't know, with the Janus and Apollo and Athena?
Yeah, Janus, Batz, Athena, and Apollo. That is not something you really want to try and go something that risky with at 16 minutes. They could do it because
that's how you
of the
lose the
Isis
game.
Ultimate, but yeah, they could very much lose the game off of it. It's not something you want to risk. We do see the Apollo at least trying to do some split pushing over here, but actually the OSiris TP is going to come out to make sure, so no, this isn't gold for you. This is just
no, go
back
away.
off.
The bar is closed. And really, I mean, if we look at Janus, I don't like this decision here coming out from Random Bro. He decided to just go first item Rod of Tahuti. Not a fan. I would have liked to have seen him try and get into his build in some way. Not going cooldown into Rod. It's a good item to augment your other items. It is not a good item on its own, in my opinion. Yes, the stats are reasonable. You know, it's 125 magical power and it's MP5, but the key is that passive of increases magical power by 25% because it's all the other items, which you don't have right now. So it's like buying Deathbringer first. Sure, it kind of works on paper, but at the end of the day, you want to get that rage before the Deathbringer. Blink Cataclysm, left-hand side, CajunDeathHawk. Good Mez actually might make it out of here alive. The Medusa ultimate is going to slow him down as that Stone Gaze, he's looking away, but slows him down a bit. He is out of range, and oh, never mind.
Okay.
Sam showed up.
Yep. Sam Basuku, man. Gonna be able to take out another kill for him, getting 12-0 already. Gonna go on to Suku, pull it through the wall. Burnman is not gonna live. Does get the ultimate out, luckily, just on time, but that's not enough to save him, sadly.
Yeah, so that buff to Awilix where she could pull over walls is huge.
Yeah.
And it was one of the things where I remember when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's fine. I get it. You know, it makes sense for a quality of life thing. And now I'm seeing Awilix just do it left and right, and I'm like, can we go back to old Awilix? She was only slightly less scary there.
When I saw it, I thought, yeah, that's going to be perfectly fine for the sort of lower levels. It's going to make her a lot more interesting, and a lot of people who may not know quite how she works to start off with are going to find her a lot more interesting, and she's going to get a bit more playtime. But she was almost like the Hades assassin. She was doing a lot of damage, and then they increased her allowability to do that damage. You're actually going to see Bellona using the rally in, but the Isis ultimate comes out. Cataclysm going to follow up. Bellona is with the Isis ultimate, Burnman and Bellona. Apollo's forced to go back already. That's going to be the Phoenix going down on this left-hand side. They're going to look for the middle one as well. Should be able to take it out pretty easily. Whether they want to go for the third Phoenix is up to them, but I think actually after this, you could probably do Fire Giant.
Fire Giant or end the game. They kill Random Bro there. 12 seconds on Hun Batz, 16 on the Bellona. They're going to go for this, this Phoenix. There we go. On the right-hand side as well. Sam for Soccer tanking it up and doesn't even really seem to care. You can see the ultimate coming out from... Okay, whatever. I don't know quite how Sam managed to get that kill, but he did. Suku? Okay, it was a Suku throw. Making sense there on that charge. And we are going to see them take all three and then back off here. They're a little bit low to do Fire Giant, maybe? Yeah, at this point, I think they are just going to back off here. They're all sitting on tons of Golden Hand. Yeah, everyone's sitting on 1,600 or more before they back off, so they can buy plenty. We're seeing 2 Executioners and an Aussie picked up for the Awilix Soul Eater Executioner on the Medusa. Again, Medusa's build, arguably she would fall off super late, but there's no super late for Thug Muffins to get to. So Thug Muffins sitting on 2nd into 3rd items right now, and it's rough. I mean, Apollo is actually fairly on par. He's behind by 2,000 gold, but he's still fairly on.
Yeah, I mean,
that active is a little bit.
The active is a little bit weird. I will agree with that. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna go with misclick.
I hope it's a misclick.
Your hunter should not be buying a Hand of the Gods ever. Yeah, especially after the nerf.
Yeah, that is definitely something that shouldn't be bought. I'm not quite sure why it's happened, but what I was about to say is that Apollo's gone for the build which is the cheaper build, but it doesn't give you as much damage, so it's one of the things that usually you won't see it too often. And usually there's an egg file in the middle of it as well to increase that, but actually because he's Apollo, he's already sitting on 1.37 attack speed. He's already going to hit max attack speed with his Audacity, so there's no need to actually buy that egg file. But now Fire Giant is down on side of Let's Have Fun, and they're already struggling enough with these fire minions. They're not going to cope with all of Let's Have Fun diving into the backline. That is going to be a pull onto the Athena. Athena is not going to get out of this alive. The Eagles rally through. There we go. Athena finally finished off. Bellona finished off along with the Janus. Batz ulti going to keep it for a little longer, but it's not going to be long enough. That creeping curse was nowhere near, but it's still used anyway. They're going to attack people in the fountain. Cajun is going to go down, but the Titan follows soon afterwards. Let's have fun having a very dominant game, especially Sam for Soccer with that 15-0-11 Awilix.
Yep, very, very good game indeed for Let's Have Fun. And really, snowballing Awilix is the key there. If Awilix did not get off the ground, I don't think that would have gone the way that it did. You know, Awilix and Isis snowballing in the mid lane are the two characters specifically, because they shut down a Batz and a Janus, the two characters that were mid to late game carries. Again, it allowed for the rest of the game. You know, mid lane pressure fell to the other two sides, and it snowballed from there. So,
yeah,
Awilix is scary.
Also, yeah, can I also give a big shout out to the double duo lane support from the side of LHF or LFM, going 0-0-14 on that Medusa and 0-1-15 on the Geb. Great support stats there.
That is, I did not notice that Medusa did not get a single kill. Though, to be fair, a lot of, actually 11-1-13 on the Isis and 15-0-11 on the Awilix. Only one kill taken by anybody else on that OSiris. And again, that shows that this game was won and lost in the mid lane. 1-8-1 on the Janus, 0-6-2 on the Batz. Everybody else, 4 or 5 deaths. So, I mean, certainly not amazing stats. But at the end of the day, that early pressure that Isis and Awilix were able to keep up just could not be responded to.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very good game from the side of Thug Muffins. They did a very good... They attempted very well. But unfortunately, that early start where TheBurnMan got caught out and just got bursted down immediately by the early game of Isis Awilix, there's very little you can do because you've given the Isis and Awilix just such a good early game boost, and it just got further and further, and it just didn't stop for those two. And that's something that you just can't come back from. They did give it their all, and I will say thank you very much. It was a really good game for you to try and keep going, and I hope that we still see you next week, because that was just a very unfortunate start for you guys.
Indeed, it was. You know, again, late game characters up against early game characters. It can happen. So you know, maybe some more time in the drafting room to get things sorted out. But we'll be back with the round of 16 matches in just a few moments. So well, don't go anywhere. This is the North American Challengers Cup Week 4. My name is MTarget, joined here today by Lord WizKid. We'll be back when we have a match ready for you all.